Holy smickers smackles, we got some big news out of Tesla this week. It seems like every single week we get some type of big news, and today we got some gigantic news out of Tesla. Some people are taking this as a positive thing, some people are taking it as a negative. It just depends on your outlook. So Tesla told employees it will cut about 9% of its workforce, trimming mostly salaried positions. Since the start of the year, Tesla has added roughly 8,000 jobs and currently employs approximately 46,000 workers. That's quite a few there, guys. Through this reorganization, it will shed around 4,100 jobs, 4,100 jobs. In mid-May, Tesla CEO Elon Musk had warned that the company was undertaking a thorough reorganization and that it would flatten its management structure. To be clear, Tesla will still continue to hire, this is Elon Musk talking now, to be clear, Tesla will continue to still hire outstanding talent in critical roles as we move forward, and there is still a significant need for additional production personnel, okay? Those are the people working in the factories actually putting the cars together and whatnot. Musk said in a letter to employees on Tuesday, "I also want to emphasize that we are making this hard decision now so that we never have to do this again." I'm just gonna say, remember that Justin Bieber song, "Never Say Never"? I'm just gonna say, Elon, like calm down the never stuff, okay? Because all you're gonna look like is a hypocrite if 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, all of a sudden you have to do more layoffs. It's dangerous. It's nice to say something like, we hope to never have to do this again. We hope to never have to do a layoff again. But to say never, we're never ever gonna do a layoff again, that's like, come on, man. Like, that's putting yourself in a hard box, and that's tough, guys. Tesla struggled to meet production targets and achieve profitability. It has been burning through billions in cash as it tries to scale up production of its mass market Model 3 sedan. Musk has said he expects Tesla to be profitable and cash flow positive in the third quarter, okay? That's a big statement there. Tesla is trying to reach a Model 3 production rate of 5,000 cars, as we know, each week, and they're trying to do this by the end of this month we are in right now. This is an actual screenshot of the letter he sent to employees, in case any of you guys want to pause that and kind of read it all the way through. There it is there. So I did some numbers here, all right? Let's assume, so he cut basically 4,100 jobs, all right? Let's assume for a second that on average, that employee cost per employee was $100,000, okay? Which might be a little low, because when you're talking about employee costs, you're not just talking about salary and bonuses, you're also talking about healthcare, you're also talking about additional tax expenses, you're also talking about, you need offices and heating and cooling costs, all that type of stuff. There's so much that goes into it. So let's assume just $100,000 is the total employee cost per employee. By cutting those jobs, that would save around $410 million per year, okay? But once again, these are salaried positions. At Tesla is probably a little more than that when you tack onto everything. I'm thinking it's more around $150,000 on average total employee cost per employee, okay? And if you do the math on that, that's around $615 million saved per year, okay? We're talking about a massive amount of money here that's going to be saved, over this whole deal. And, it could be things that maybe, sometimes when you get such a big corporation like this and you cut, close to 10% of its workforce, sometimes a 10%, and I'm not saying all these employees were bad employees or they weren't doing, a good enough job or whatnot, but I'm saying when you have that many employees at a corporation, you're going to have a big chunk of them that are not meeting up to expectations, okay? If you had just, imagine, you ever been in school, high school or college or whatever, and you had to do a project with a group of, let's just say 4 or 5 people. At least 1 or 2 of those people was probably a lazy person. If you had me in your group in high school or middle school, like I was that person that sucked, okay? I was that person that was super lazy, that didn't do crap and didn't care about the project, okay? So out in the workforce, you're always going to have that, out of every 5 people, let's say at least 1 person who's not holding up their end of the bargain, okay? So sometimes these layoffs, not saying that all 4,100 employees were bad employees at Tesla. I'm just saying there's probably a good chunk of them that were not pulling their weight there. And you just kind of got to get rid of them. And, this is a good way to do it. And it's a good way to do it before you ever reach profitability, because then you can say, well, we're not profitable, we're losing money. Rather than, it looks different if you're a super profitable company that's expanding and then you cut employees, it looks kind of bad on you, right? But when you're not making any money, it doesn't look that bad. So that's not the only news that came out this week. And also some Tesla and Home Depot news came out. So Tesla Tesla is ditching Home Depot as a sales partner for its residential clean energy products, CEO Elon Musk revealed in an email to his employees on Tuesday. That's another part of the move of broader restructuring. This is what Musk wrote, part of the email there. In addition to this company-wide restructuring, we decided to not renew our residential sales agreement with Home Depot in order to focus our efforts on selling solar power in Tesla stores and online. The majority of Tesla employees working at Home Depot will be offered the opportunity to move over to Tesla retail locations. I think that's a very smart move there. In February this year, not that long ago, what was that, 4 or 5 months ago, Tesla announced it would set up mini solar stores in around 800 Home Depot locations. The expansion was intended to help Tesla bring its renewable energy products to a wide audience. Solar City, which Tesla acquired in 2016, used to sell its systems via Home Depot stores. Tesla discarded the Solar City name, and now they just use everything as Tesla branded products. Now we're going to talk about Elon Musk's goals here in just a second and kind of his vision on this. But as of right now, this is being seen as a positive. So all this news that came out today is being seen as a positive. As we see, as I've taken the screenshot, Tesla shares are up over $12 a share, up around getting close to up 4% on the day. So it's definitely all this news that came out, this reorganization is seen as a positive. So let's talk about Musk's goals, okay? Musk's goals. What are his goals he has going on right now? Well, in my opinion, his first and foremost biggest goal is to get to 5,000 on the production number for Model 3s, okay? They want to get to this number. This is the number that's been, talked about. So I think that's first and foremost the thing they want to do. Get to a place where they're producing 5,000 Model 3s per week. I think that's his number one goal in mind right now, okay? I think his number two goal in mind right now is honestly trying to figure out Solar City, okay? I think this is something that he is having a little trouble figuring out right now because they acquired Solar City and I don't think they've seen nearly the growth they want to see there from the Solar City business, and they're like, what the heck is going on? Now, something I think is an issue is they got to understand these other companies that are in the solar industry, they have tons of boots on the ground, okay? Tons of boots on the ground, knocking on doors. I get people every single week that come to my house and try to ask, sell solar products, okay? For all different types of companies. I've never once had a Tesla employee show up at my house asking if I want to have, a solar. So all these other companies have massive amounts of boots on the ground, walking the streets, and these guys make, anywhere between a $500 commission to a $2,000 commission if you sign up and actually get the solar installed on your roof. When you got those type of boots on the ground, you're all these other solar companies, and you're Tesla and you're just selling in stores, I think you're really limited. I think these other guys actually have a big competitive advantage by actually going in people's houses, and that's probably a pretty annoying job because, I cannot imagine most people are happy. Most of the time, I don't even answer the door anymore, but it's like the boots on the ground is a big thing when you're trying to sell to someone that has a house and you want to get solar out there. So he's trying to figure this Solar City business out, and I think a big part of it is just Tesla doesn't have any guys out there. Where are the Tesla salespeople? They're in stores, okay? And the third part I think that is his focus is I think he wants to start making some profits, okay? This company is burning through cash. I think he's got to turn it around and show that this company can be profitable, okay? This company has not been profitable yet. They got to get to a point where they can show they can be profitable. They can show they can be profitable. It opens up a lot of things. One, it's going to get investors off his back, okay? Two, it's going to attract way more investors to Tesla because then it becomes a profitable growing company, okay? Rather than just a company that's growing for growing's sake, right? And the last part is then when you're already making profits, you can take out way bigger and bigger loans if needed to do whatever it is you want to do out there and achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. I think, I certainly think that banks would give, Elon Musk and Tesla more cash and more loans out there. But when you start making profits, it makes it so much easier on the bank because then you say, hey, we just made $1 billion in profit last quarter. We want to take out this $5 billion loan over here. We're doing okay, but we need that money to expand here and there. So banks are much more likely to loan you money. Like think about what Apple does with their bonds and whatnot. Apple can get money so easy. Like anybody will loan anybody will loan Apple any amount of money because there's almost no risk there, right? And that's why Apple's been able to take out $100 to $200 billion basically in loans over the past year or two. Like, that's a huge amount, guys. That's mind-boggling. Like $100 to $200 billion in loans Apple's taken out over the last few years, okay? That's a huge amount. But when Apple's making so much in profits, when they got all those profits pouring in, it's nothing to give Apple. You like, okay, let's give Apple loans. They got all that cash from the balance sheet. They got all those investments. To make your 2 or 3% is almost guaranteed money. Like let's just do it. So when you make profits, then it makes everything easier. He can get bigger loans, which means he can expand into this and that. And as things goes on, he can just kind of keep the company, 5-10 years out ahead of where all the competition is, which he's been able to do very successfully. Is just getting to a harder place now. Investors want to see profits. The banks want to see profits. Everybody that's loaning them money, they want to see profits. He's trying to figure out this Solar City business. I think they got to get boots on the ground. I think that's a big thing. And the 5,000 Model 3s per week, that's where investor focus is right now. And I think that's his #1 goal at the particular moment. But anyways, I would love to hear from you guys in the comment section. Do you take this as a positive news that came out of Tesla here today? Do you take it as negative news? There's some debate around that, You lay off employees, is that a positive or negative? I would love to hear from you guys in that comment section. As always, thank you for watching. Have a great day.